What is up? Welcome today, guys. We have another episode of Saturday Sound Levels. I'm here with Fletcher Davis. This is the author of Nevertheless, and this is actually a book that I've gotten a chance to get a copy of. He's also 3-time world champion in Muay Thai. And he's my Muay Thai instructor and one of my closest friends, my brother. So, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to be on Sound Level, man. Saturday Sound Level with your badge, man. It's awesome.
Right.
Feels good.
So, I wanted to ask you, because we've known each other for a little bit.
Yes.
Met through Muay Thai. Oh, matter of fact, how did we meet?
Yeah, it was through Muay Thai. Again, like you said, I'm 3-time heavyweight champion of TBA.
Right.
That they have every year. During Fletcher, which is awesome. I got to give props out, because, again, with anything, you always need support of others.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into him when I first started. And he ended up being my corner guy, my sparring partner, which was awesome. And as you see what happened,
Right.
From that support from him. So I got to give a shout out to Duran Fletcher.
Shout out
And so being in the gym, training, we training, and at that time, me and Duran was training people, and people was coming in, and guess who come through the door?
Who?
Jabez. And he's awesome.
This guy.
Yeah. And, and became good friends.
Mm.
I like that. It's awesome.
Yeah. That was one of the most interesting. It was funny walking in because it was, it was you and D there the first day that I came in.
Yep.
And you guys are training with Killer B.
Yep.
Yep. It was Killer B, Mija, and I think Jaime and what's Jaime brother name?
I can't think of it right now.
I forgot a little man name.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was all of us. And whew.
Yeah.
Good times,
Good
man.
time. Yeah.
Good time. Good time.
Good Muay Thai.
Good Muay Thai.
Yes.
I remember kicking that bag, man, and my shins just feeling like I had pads on top of them after I got done.
Yeah.
So Muay Thai is actually a really intense sport. So
Yes,
what
it
made you want to do Muay Thai?
It's an interesting story. I'm trying to make it short. My 2 kids were going to school, my 2 youngest. And going to college and going away, y'all like, you know what, it'd be good, some self-defense. Mm-hmm. So we looked up some things and we saw that, Muay Thai, self-defense. So we go up to it, I'm going to give, at that time, Active Edge. And so I took them in there and, signed them up.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter and my son. So take them to class, I'm sitting there, cool, just watching. Couple of days, you could say a week later, my daughter was like, Dad, I don't think this is something I want to do because I'm gonna be honest, I want to have kids. Basically, you get what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
Because you know the training of kicking, people get kicked in the stomach, stand on stomach, all the things you have to do. So I'm like, okay, cool, but I already paid you money.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I'll just substitute. I'll just take your place. And and that was in 2013, early, and so I just slid on into the class.
Yeah.
Me and my son. And truthfully, it went from there. I just, I've been an athlete all my life. It's not nothing new. In high school, I'm in Hall of Fame and things like that.
Mm.
I played football, track, boxed, a lot of, just being an athlete. So it really wasn't that hard of a jump for me. I mean, people might have looked at like, where this guy come from? But once I got into the training and, I knew that focus and that, so I just kept it going, and as I was losing weight, and then I heard about this tournament. So people were like, I'm like, man, that'd be neat. And I said, and it was, at that time, it was going on when I was training. But I'm like, I said, man, I can try to get ready for it next year, the 2014.
Yeah.
So that was my focus there.
That was the Iowa tournament?
Yep, that was my focus.
Okay.
My focus ended up being like, hey, next year, I'm going to train and get into that next year. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to, get in smokers and...
Yeah.
And so
what are smokers?
Smokers is where it's really not sanctioned, but it's guys where we can get in the ring and you fight other guys from other places for newbies and
like
and all, like exhibition match, newbies, people who ain't, so you can work your craft and see where you at, and feel if you're good enough to go down to that, because those guys don't play. And so, and the cool thing about it, when I'm giving a shout out to D, is that walking out the door, he's coming in the door after a smoker. I didn't fight in that smoker, but I was leaving out the door. He's coming like, "Hey D," he's like, "Flex," And man, we just started reminiscing about that because we grew up together, kind of, in high school. And we just started reminiscing. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing my thing. Oh yeah, I know Chad." We just started chopping it up, and then that's when I told, "Hey man, I'm trying to get ready for the that tournament." And he's like, "Hey man," I was like, "Hey, we gonna spar," and he's like, "Okay, we good." And man, like I said, as everybody can see, what happened from 2000 into
3 of them.
Yes,
not one, not two, but 3 belts.
Again, and I know we talked about it, I said, but I'm big on support people helping one another. And like in my book, when I'm talking about we all have a purpose. And I always felt it was the purpose of me to start Muay Thai and another purpose for me to run it to D at that time. And I think that was a good connection. When we ran into each other, man, it worked out.
Yeah, Divine Timing definitely has a way of working things out because honestly, before I met you guys, I was looking to get to the gym. Like, I really wanted to get to the gym. I really wanted to get into self-defense, to learn to protect myself. And I met D at work, and one random day, it was D again. Shout out Darren Fletcher, shout out D. But it was one random day. I think I was coming out of work late. Like, usually I would come out of work, 5:30 or something like that. But I was really late that day because I was working on something. I forgot what it was. Came out with my boss and met him at the door and was talking about, I forgot what we started talking about, but then it got over into martial arts. And then after he got into martial arts, he started saying, "Oh, I'm going to the Active Edge gym." And then that's when, he told me about the class and everything like that, started going, and then I met you, and the history was made after that. So, it was very nice. But getting more back to the book, as far as what were your inspirations on making this? I read that you made it for your granddaughter.
I work in social services. Been working with kids, since 20-some years. Love kids. I think I was telling one that kids are our future. Children are, and we should always invest in our kids, no matter what, and it's very important. So working with kids, and a lot of times when I was working with kids, sometimes I'll pick up kids to bring to sessions, or we have groups and whatnot, and I just tell them stories just for the ride, just come up with stuff, and the kids loved it. I would just come up with stuff off the top of my head and things like that. So coincided at a certain time, again, my son, and I know my first grandson, I'm like, man, you know what? Let me, I always wanted to be a writer, so I'm like, let me do this now. I've did Muay Thai, I said, let me dip into this a little bit. And so I just started working on the story. And as I went, again, like I said, purpose, during some of my visits of going to, I saw grasshoppers. And it was just interesting to see. And I'm like, okay. Then the next day I saw a praying mantis. And I was like, hey, something is telling me something. Again, whatever out there in the universe, something is telling me something. So I just got on my phone and just started just typing up and this is what came about. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna dedicate this to my first grandchild. So that's where it went,
So it's just random occurrences. It seems like the universe usually pushes us to stuff, because almost everything in life, like the best things that usually happen are serendipitous. It seems very like circumstantial, like a coincidence or a bunch of coincidences lining up. Like you starting the class, it just so happened that your daughter didn't want to do it, so he was like, "Hey, why not me?" Do you find that a lot of times to even start doing something, it's better to just do it?
Yes. A lot of times, even in the book, I'm hoping people go out there and grab it. It's on Amazon. I'm always saying, meet your purpose. People always think you have one purpose. I think you have many purposes, like in the book. And when you, like you said, when you're going to do something, just do it. You never know where it might lead. Mm-hmm. Just whatever. Let's give. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm trying. No, you're doing. No matter what it is, you're not trying. You're doing. Mm. And so I think once you put energy towards something, the universe opens up to you. And so that's what I'm saying. As soon as I decide, like movie time, once I say, oh, I'm gonna get in that tournament, you see what happened? I run into D, and the universe said, okay, I'm opening this up to you. Next thing I'm like, oh, my kids, I'm going to have a grandchild. You know what? I'm going to write, I'll tell a story. You know what? Write a book. Boom, the universe opens up to you. So I think we all have the possibility to have the universe open up for whatever we put our mind to. It's just going to work out just fine.
So what do you say to the people who are wanting to do something, but maybe they feel like they don't have the resources, or maybe they're scared of failure or something like that? What would you say to those kids? Or those people, I should say, not even kids.
Oh, I would say you are the resource. You know what I'm saying? You are the resource.
I'm going to that.
Yeah, that's you. Everything comes from you. The only thing that holds us back in our life is us. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I could have been like, oh, I'm too old. Or my daughter don't want to do this. I'm not going to get up there and bounce around, but I didn't. Like you said, I just went out and did it. And look what happened. Same thing around. Oh, man, I'm not a writer. I'm going to be out there. I just think being a social service worker. But no. Once I put my mind, I went in, I did it. So, again, like I said, we are our resource. You see what I'm saying? As long as we push forward. And the only thing can stop us is us, ourselves. So I think with anybody out there, whatever, just give it a try. What you got to lose? Nothing. We're already here. You only can go there.
Right.
So even when you're thinking about something and you put it out there, you're already right there. You ain't going to go, only place you can go is up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an awesome thing. Going back to the book, you see the title, Nevertheless.
Yeah.
And that's why I put that title there, Nevertheless, because I believe we're all coming to this earth the same, but at a level, human beings. And we're never less than that.
Right.
But we can always be greater than that. As long as we decide what we want to do and go out there and do it, we'll be just fine. And that's what I tell people out there. Just go out there and try it. Give it a try and see what happens. Yeah.
So how you get into counseling?
Well, again, I love kids. Social service, you go to school, psychology, and, way back I was like, you know what, this is what I'm doing. I work with kids. And so every job I want to look, whatever I had entailed with that type of work, like working in shelters, working in group homes, and next thing you know, working for Jane Addams, which was awesome, being a family advocate.
Where's Jane Addams?
Jane Addams Whole House. This was one of the first, what you call social service in Illinois, big social service in Illinois. So I worked for that company. Then I moved from there to where I'm at now, Lutheran Social Services, and doing that, being just everything like a CWA, caseworker assistant, and as a black man, it's very rare that you find us in that profession. Yeah. And then now I'm moving to what we call treatment foster care, which is awesome. That's what I do. I'm a life skill coach on that. Working with young black men, which is awesome. And when we say treatment foster care, because you got traditional foster care and you got treatment foster care. And the difference is that our foster parents are trained, therapeutic. Because some of the kids we deal with in the program has a little more trauma. Not saying the other kids, tradition, they don't, but it's just a little more trauma. So they need a little bit more care, and so it's therapeutic. It ain't just a simple, we have a team of therapists and counselors and a team lead. Yeah, and I'm part of that team. And we work with that kid as a group. Yeah. And again, foster parents part of it, because that foster parent is just not a regular, they go get trained. So they therapeutic, it's almost like they're therapists within the home. Yeah. So it's awesome. And that's what I do now. So I work with kids, I go out in the community, life skill and things like that, and it's awesome. And what I love much, I'm not trying to say I work with a kid, but it's nice that I'm working with young black men. So I love that. Great time.
Yeah, that's actually really, really interesting. So I'm getting a chance to learn more about you, even during the interview. Yeah. I mean, because, I watch a lot of movies, anime, and things of that nature. And a lot of times, well, I know when I first started watching anime, being that they were cartoons and stuff like that, eventually after you grow up to a certain level, or grow up to a certain age, people start to shun cartoons.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that this generation now is more into watching cartoons than almost ever before.
Yeah, you're right. The thing about, there's cartoon and there's anime. And a lot of times as you watch anime, you see it's a lot deeper than what you may think. Because I can tell, when way back when I first started watching anime compared to cartoon, cartoon where you can hit somebody with a slug, Tom and Jerry, and they come back. The animal falls on them and they pop back up. You watch anime, that ain't how it works.
Dude.
No, that ain't. If someone moves on in anime, they move on. It's real. And that's what I think I took to because it was real. And I started seeing deeper messages in the anime. Mm-hmm. And it was, social issues and things like that in a simple anime. Yeah. If you watch it deep. And that's what I think what put me on to that. Being therapeutic and working in with kids and stuff. I like that, how they was putting different issues. Because it could be simple as bipolar, but a kid, and it's in an anime, but you don't even know that they're really dealing with the bipolar issue.
Yeah.
Schizophrenic. And you watch an anime and then not come to find out that really is all about somebody who's schizophrenic. But they put this whole story in the anime, so I really like that. And that's what got me really into anime. So at that time.
Man, there was I think an anime, Gurren Lagann.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were talking about that not too long ago. And when I first started watching it, it was like, But then as the story progressed, and I actually told my nephew about it, because I finished watching it, as the story progressed, dude, it got so deep. Like, it touched on so many different things. The loss of a loved one, coming of age, and going through hardships, overcoming those hardships.
Yes.
Man, so many, accepting people for who they are and their differences.
Yes.
The power of friendship and love. It's funny because a lot of people make fun of anime and anime watchers and things of that nature, but when I talk to people in the previous generation, usually I get made fun of. They say, "Oh, those are just cartoons," but I usually say to those people, "Man, if whatever you like to watch on TV, there's a corollary to that in anime." Yeah. Yes. So if you like a lot of drama, there is an anime that has a lot for you.
Yeah, I just would advise anyone, just take your time to really watch it and understand it and read up on it. Not just say, just because you see it as a cartoon or artwork. No, look at, because here in America, we grew up on cartoons. What I mean by that is Tom and Jerry, those things. And not understanding, in Asia, they grew up on anime. It's two different things to me. If anybody really, it's two different things. So if you already have a bias of thinking, cartoon, no, you're not taking separating that, this is cartoon, this is anime, two different things. So I think if people go out there and look at it that way and say, hey, you know what, let me watch it and really read up and, find more about what is anime, what anime really is, then I think they have a better resource themselves to say, okay, this is different. There's more to it.
Yeah.
And so I should watch it and give it a chance and not really say, you watch cartoons. No, it's anime. And so, and I think that's the response. No, when somebody does that, no, it's anime. It's the difference.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell someone, Give it a chance, and not just look at it, read up on it, find out what anime really is, So, and that's, again, like with the book, that's why you can see from that, my inspiration, just that and storytelling, and like having a deeper story, even in a small book, I could put all these things in there, and that's why I got to give anime that props. When you watching them, when you're going into writing and writing your own thing, you got a little resource like, I see how they can take a little story and make it deep. And then not just for children, but for everyone. Right. And that's what I try to do in the book, too,
Right, because I noticed that was so I've read a little bit of the book. I didn't get a chance to read the whole book, but I actually read a little bit of the book. And it seemed like the theme was, 1, never underestimate yourself.
That's true. 2,
never look down on anyone else.
True.
And 3, like you said, know your purpose.
Yes.
So I seen I think the ant was the more humble of the three.
Mm-hmm.
And then the grasshopper was the big boisterous guy who was looking down on the
praying mantis. Yeah, praying mantis. Yeah, was well, but hey, how can I say it? You're right. It was everything you said is correct, and that's why I like people to read the book so they can see the different. How can I say it? I can see their perspective because when you read, like you said, with anything, everybody comes with a different perspective.
Yeah.
So if you read something, you might be like, oh, and you see that. And if you ask me, like, oh, you come to like, and I've had plenty of people read, say, oh, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. Because that's your perspective. And whatever you may say, no one's wrong. I come, have 10 people in a room and read the book, and they all had these different perspectives. Oh, you're talking about this, you're talking about that, you're talking about this, you're talking about, and I'll have to say, you're all right. Because when I wrote it, that's what I want. I want you to get that out of that because it was meant for you. When I wrote that, and the way I wrote it, whatever you got out, that's what was meant for you. Whatever you got out of it, it was meant for you. Whatever you, and on, so you all, whatever you're correct. And how you look at it. Just like you said, what you, boom, those three things, you're right. If that's what you got out of it, that's what, now, as a writer.
Yeah, what you was
right.
intending to.
I can tell my perspective on it
yeah.
and everything. And people will love that because, you're the writer. Hey, what? Like, we got all this. What was you doing when you were writing? What you was thinking of?
Right.
The characters and the different this and why, like you said, why you use a grasshopper, why you use a praying mantis, why you use a and these different things. But one, again, like I said, it's a children's book. And in an old African tradition, a lot of times they use that. In their storytelling, insects and animals and things. So I really wanted that because, and I wrote history. So I wanted to use that too. But even though I use it, I wanted to write something for everybody though, because at the end of the day, somebody said, "Oh, you wrote for children." It's not just, we all are children at heart. We just got responsibilities. We just children with responsibilities.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we get to say, no, we still. So really, the book is for everyone.
And do you feel like people are? Because I notice in this day and age, man, everybody's in their phones. It doesn't seem like there's as much communication, and because of that, there isn't a. I feel like there may not be a lot of, I want to say, unification. Do you feel like, art is a way to bring people together? You think art could be used as a way to bring people together, or?
Yes, part of it. Reason somebody said, "Well, because I want parents reading to their children." You see, put the phones down, turn the TV off, and take that book and read. And if a kid don't understand a certain way, and I did it. Some people say, "Oh, you put this word in. It seems like it's a little too big for a kid to understand, or they might not know the meaning." That's what they got parents for. That's why I wanted it. I put it in there so that when the kids say, "Oh, what's this word?" And the parents say, "Oh, that means this."
Yeah.
Oh, see that? It's certain things you do for reading. Oh. So that's why I put certain things in there. And the pictures, that's for the kids. It draws their eyes and like, oh, But the other part, when the parent is reading something and she says something, and they're like, "Mom, what is that? Dad, what is that word?" "Oh, that means such and such." And that's that communication that builds the do. And then not just that. Now you start bringing people together. Somebody else tells, "Hey man, you know what? I bought this book, nevertheless, for my kid. Man, you should buy it. I mean, it's a really good book." And again, it's bringing it back that old tradition of reading and storytelling because it's a fable. And one thing, to be honest, was awesome when I did a book fair. So for Chicago Book Fair, I give a shout out. One thing where people, when they was coming to my booth and they was like, "Man, you don't see this no more." They were seeing books and this and that, but fables, it's rare you see the old school fables anymore. And I was like, they said, "Man, great job." And they was giving me a compliment that I did something different. And that's why they was purchasing the book, because it was something different for their kids. And the kids was coming up, purchasing the same thing, looking all. And I was like, man, that's awesome. So I said, you know what, this is different and good. And I'm glad that, we have that in our culture, though, storytelling and fables and, from Africa. And that's why I'm glad it's in me. I always believe everything's in our DNA. So, and that's why, I really had to do it. I think the universe said, "Hey, you got to do this." So
what are some of your favorite fables or children's stories that you remember? Or did you get any inspiration from those when you were writing this?
I'm not, how can I say, again, this is America. We grew up on basic cartoons. Simple favorite, Three Blind. You hear all the songs and Three Blind Mice, Little Red Riding Hood,
Hickory Dickory Dock.
three little, and all these things. So it's all there, whether it was in a song, whether it was in something we watched on TV. And I can say, yeah, because I saw that. But I think you take everything, not just that, but my life experiences. Okay. Working with kids, meeting people, like you said, Muay Thai, just different things in life. And you take that and you say, okay, how do I put this in the book? Because as a writer, that's what you put. You put yourself in there, in that story. And when you're telling it, it is you who write, a story. And most people might not know it like that, but when they read, like, oh, he's talking about a spider. But if I told you I'm in that story, you might look at it different. That's a deeper level, but you might look at it different.
Yeah, see, now I got to reread it. Now I want to read it again to see exactly where you at. Because I know you a little bit more, so I can actually, I have a little more insight.
Well, to give you, I don't want to get, because I want people to buy
exclusives.
the book.
Exclusives.
No. You want people to go and purchase the book, but I can really say if somebody read it and they want to, I'm in that book. And just because you see 3 different characters, we all had different personalities.
Interesting.
Yeah, we all have different personalities.
So how does your artistry, right, the creativity that you have, to see an ant, to see a grasshopper and a praying mantis, and then write a whole story centered around that, how does that correlate with Muay Thai? Like, how does those things and being an athlete?
It's called being creative. Muay Thai is a creative art. If anybody goes and watch Muay Thai, it's creative. It's an art. It's a rhythm. It ain't just in there throwing punches and kicks. It's an art to it. That's why when they do the dance, that's why when they move a certain rhythm, it ain't just throwing punches. It's an art.
And then the wire. Explain the wire.
When at the beginning, it's a dance they do in the ring before they fight. But really, it's stretching. People don't know it, and it gives homage to the elders and things like that.
The previous teachers.
But it is stretching too at the same time. You're warming yourself up. People don't probably look at it, but you're warming yourself up too at the same time. Which is awesome. But it's an art. So somebody said, "Well, how does that go through?" It's all art. It's me expressing myself in the ring as a fighter. Because that's you in that ring. And even though it's Muay Thai, and I get props up to boxers, MMA fighter, we all expressing ourselves in a certain way. So when you're in that ring, you're expressing yourself in a certain way. With energy. Throwing punches, but it's an art form. So the same thing with this. I'm just taking that same and move it over into a book. You're talking about art form and energy and me. And that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, when you talk about how that goes from there in life, being creative in the ring, how your fighting style, do you look a little flashy? Do you move this way? Do you make certain moves your own? Just because somebody show you how to kick, you can kick that way, but eventually you can make it into your own. Do a little slide stuff and kick that way.
Yeah.
You make it your own. Same thing with this. I just took a story and made it my own. And just because you said, like, I saw a grasshopper one day, I saw a praying mantis one day, and it came, I said, you know what? I could put this story and make it my own.
Yeah.
And for children, for people. That's all I did. I just, again, just being creative. Yeah. And everything is creative. Life. Right? It's creation.
This is true.
Yeah.
Life is creation.
Yes.
So what do we say now to people? Because, as a fellow martial arts practitioner, like, how would you explain to people the artistic side of throwing punches and kicks? Because most people see it as just they either see it as self-defense, or they see it as boorish and violent, but they don't necessarily see the mental side of it or the creative side of it. So
it's no different than a dance. I mean, again, 2 people dancing together. rhythm, movement, because that is, when you get on a higher level, it is almost a lot dance. You got to watch his movement, what he's doing, just like stepping, you got to be in tune with each other.
Right.
And somebody, you got to be in tune with us, because you got to know which way he's moving. So you know what punches, what's his habits, his arm going down, is he moving this way? When you punch over here, does he move to the right? Does he move back? You see, you got to know all that, because that dance, now you know where, when he moves back, I know I got to throw a T. Or when he moves to the right, I got to throw that hook. If he steps, so now, by the time that second round, you done got his rhythm. You like, okay, I see what he does here. I see what he does on this. I know if I do a feint, I can double feint and bow. Or if I step this way, he moves this way, so I can kick. Instead of coming this, I can kick him faster because he's moving into my kick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to take a little step over here to make him move this way, then I kick. So it's that thing where, again, you may be looking like, these guys just don't know. Everything is methodical. I'm watching this way you move, and so I can try to get you. Right, I want to score points, so I'm trying to kick you and not let you kick me. So if I got you down, I'm like, okay, when I do this, he tends to do this. Mm-hmm. So now I can get out the way, but I'm going to flinch and trick him and move this way, then kick him. And so it is a little dance. It's that's why I said, if somebody look, think about it as especially with Muay Thai, when you watch them guys, when they doing that rhythm, it's a little dance, a rhythm.
Bounce.
Yes, it's that. And that's Muay Thai, but believe me, guys like fighters and the Mayweathers and the guys, they knew that. Mm-hmm. You may think but he understood the rhythm of how a guy throw a punch, it's a rhythm. And that's why they practice over and over and over to get that down. So when that happens, he knows right off the back that guy I'm catching, it's automatic. And that's what people should understand when they look at it. Always look at things as an art form. Not just all these guys, whether it's MMA, it is art form. People, believe me. Those guys practice for a reason. They practice repetition over and over and over. So when it's time to do it, they got it down. They got their rhythm. They got what they're doing. And that's what I think when people look at it, they should look at it as an art form. No matter what it is, everything is an art form. Everything has a rhythm to it. You just got to watch and pay attention to it.
So, this is going to be more of a random question, but so you're trapped on an island, 3 days, or you're stranded on an island, I'll say. What 3 things would you bring and why?
Trapped on an island, what 3 things would I bring?
Yes, and why?
Wow, man, that's 3 things would I bring to an island. Now, one, I hope to know what's on the island, but
we'll say it's like the typical stranded island scene with the animals and the palm trees, nice weather, etc., etc.
Now, real quick, I can bring anything.
Yeah. We'll make it anything. We'll make it open ended.
Well,
real open ended. Yeah, look, make it easy for you.
Look, you said I can bring anything. I'll bring my whole family because we finna. You should have said anything. I'll bring my whole family. Like, hey, we finna work. We finna make this island ours. I said, hey, my whole family.
Okay, so the family. There you go. Okay, the family. So we got the family. That's one.
Let me see. We can make our own tools. Just in case, since I can bring anything, a satellite phone.
Okay.
So you gotta tell me, even though I'm stranded,
No, yeah.
even though I may not use it, I might be like, hey, family, we finna make this. Hey, we done put a stick in. We own this island. We gonna spread out, go find food. We gotta work for shelter. We gonna see what all we can use to build, make our home here.
Yeah.
3, let's see. I ain't gonna need no money because I'm on the island.
You got everything you need. You should be for the most part.
We all started somewhere at the beginning. Even in civilization, it started like that. So, the 3rd thing, something to write with. That's pen and paper.
See, with pen and paper, 2 items.
Oh,
so you got.
Well, okay. Okay. Just give me a pen.
Okay.
I can eventually make something to write on.
Maybe bark of a tree or something like that.
Everything starts
bark of a tree.
Yeah.
So then how do you make, because, they use stone and chisel at one point in there, so.
There you go. That's what we have to go back. See, then I have to go back to my roots with my family. Hey, listen, this is what, We need sticks and trees and things. Cause first thing we got to work on is shelter.
Yeah.
Now we got to figure out where we can land and see what grows here for food and.
Yep.
You know, I task everybody, and next thing you know, I'll be writing our whole thing up. So if we ever get off, just in case, even though I got to start at home, just in case we get up, here's a book about
How to Survive.
Yeah, How to Survive on an Island. The bestseller, How to Survive on an Island. You know, when you're just thrown there.
Huh? Because have you seen the show? What was it called? It's not. Is it called Stranded? Or the show where they basically put two people on the island, a male and a female, usually, on an island with nothing, like absolutely nothing, stark naked, just dump them in the middle of an island or something like that.
I haven't watched it, but I've seen, they have commercials for everything, and I've seen that, and I'm like, that's interesting, But I know Hollywood. I know everything is, it's Hollywood.
Yeah. Okay.
You get my point. I think, like I said. There's always a way. I said if we focus more, if we focus more on solutions instead of the problem, you know what I'm saying? If we focus more on solutions instead of problems, you'll be just fine in life. And I think sometimes people out there focus too much on the problems that they have in their lives and things instead of solutions. You see what I'm saying? How to get here, how to go here, and how to get through this moment and get through this time. And I think as me, I've learned that I love focus on solutions, how to do this, how to get this done. So somebody said, well, how do you became a 3-time winner? Because I was focused on, once I decided that the problem was, how do I become a 3-time, a champion. Yeah. So then I started, what's the solution? Go train. Mm-hmm. When I ran into D, have a sparring partner. Mm-hmm. Have a good corner guy, you see? Mm-hmm. And I did that, keep training and watching videos and so I was so much focused on solution. Mm-hmm. So then when we got to the real problem,
it wasn't even a problem anymore.
There you go. And that's with anything. Same thing with writing. Even if I might have, they say, okay, what I do? Let me look up some things. And again, once I say I'm write the book, things start, and on my mind is how do I get to the problem is writing, but how do I? Oh, boom, 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 here's your inspiration, here's your thoughts, and you put them together, and you're like, okay, cool, and it starts, oh, man, I know how I got this to do, or there's something going on, oh, man, that doesn't, let me rewrite that. So I'm focused so much on, because sometimes when people focus so much on the problem, they don't move forward. They get stuck. Oh man, I can this. No, like you said, just do. Remember we talked earlier? Just do it. Just go out there and do it. So I would advise anybody, again, I know I'm going back to it, just go out there and do it. I ain't trying to be a Nike commercial, but just go do it. Yeah.
Nike, check in for the sponsorship.
Just go do it, And I think that's been, again, like in the book, I think we have many purposes. I know I keep on with it, but
go ahead.
I think we have many purposes in this world, no matter what, big or small. And that's why in the book, I think when people read that, get it, that no matter what you're doing in life, you do have a purpose. It ain't just one thing. It can be many things. It can be walking down the street and lady need help carrying something, That was your purpose for the day. Driving down the street, somebody pulled to the side of the road, you stopped to help them. That probably was your purpose for the day. Working out in a Muay Thai gym and somebody walks in. It might have been, I'm just saying. Again, like me being D. It might have been D purpose to be there at that moment, when I was walking out the gym thinking that I wanted to, get ready for a tournament. Mm-hmm. There's many. Out there as we go through our daily lives, again, like working in social life, it just might have been my purpose to work with these kids.
Because you probably saved a lot of lives doing it. I can imagine. I can only imagine.
I'm hoping that part of it is just giving a different perspective. When I work with young men, I'm trying to give them a different perspective in life. When people have been through certain things, I think more so that's what I want to do. Just give them a different perspective. Saying there's something different out there than just this or what you've been through. There's more to life. And you can tap into that. Mm-hmm. Don't just sit here and be like, oh, this is how life is and I've been through this. And no, there's more to life. And I'm hoping that when I'm working with young men, that I'm showing them that. Like, hey, there's more to life. Not just by talking to them, showing them by my own life. Like, oh, man, he's done this. And you can do it too. Mm-hmm. It's no different. Just go out there and do it. And because again, and what we do, they would consider like behavioral modification, but it's just Somebody said, "What's the best behavioral modification that I know?" Love.
Speak on that.
Yeah, just showing someone love that you care. Like these kids, when they first come into the program, they don't really know me. Like, they just say, "Oh, this is Mr. Davis. He's gonna be your life skill coach." But as they get to know me, like, man, this guy really cares about me. It's something I can feel that he loves me as a child. Just he's treating me no different than he would treat his own son. And we go out and do things, how he talks to me, how he looks, and he's trying to. And let me tell you, they respond to that.
So, I've noticed in this era in particular, and I actually want to ask you a two-part question. So, why do you think there is such a problem with mental health? And I've noticed that there has been, I don't even know if it's necessarily an increase in mental health issues or depression and things of that nature. But why do you think there is an increase, and then how do you think we can solve it?
Well, one, there's an increase. Well, I can say it's always been there. It depends. It's cultural too. I'm saying in the black, when we talk about the black community, a lot of times we wouldn't go to the doctor unless our leg was about to pop off. You get what I'm saying? If your stomach hurts a bit, I'll take some medicine. If I'm feeling a little funny or I'm just a little tired, if we talk about depression, we wouldn't go to the doctor. But depression is in the black community. It's there, but we don't get to the doctor to go get diagnosed for that.
Right.
So we just go through and things happen. And for some people, it's a little bit more, pronounced. And that's why, you have suicide. But they don't know that, you're just depressed and you're in a depression. And if you want to say, why is it especially, in certain society, again, I'm saying culture, so America is tough. And when somebody said what I mean by tough, to survive in America is very tough. And now even with social media and everybody trying to keep up with the Joneses and everybody watching, everybody seems like they got a great life and they driving in this car and they living in this house. And but I was telling everybody, again, that's social media. I can make everything look like through social media that my life is the best ever. I'm wrote just from snapshots and pictures, but that don't tell the whole story. You get what I'm saying? Don't tell the whole story of what someone's going through. Where they at financially. It doesn't tell the story. You only know a little bit from a picture or from look where I'm going. But you don't know if that person gas is off. You don't know because they're not going to tell you the gas is off and the electric is off and they working paycheck to paycheck and their car's breaking out and they walking and you don't see all that part of their life. You see what they want to show you to even sometimes make themselves feel good. And why you say it's so because when all that pressure's on you to try to keep up with this and try to work 2 jobs and raise a family and single mom. I put out the single moms and this and you didn't, there's so many issues. You dropped out of high school, didn't finish high school. How do you make it? In this society, you trying to figure out how I'm going to survive. And then you talk about what are your coping skills? Now, I'm telling you what I mean. What are your coping skills? When you're down and out, do you go to liquor? Do you go to drugs? Do you go to, you see what I'm saying? Do you go to self-destructive behaviors? What are your coping skills? So that means, what do you do when you're struggling? And some people do. They go to alcohol and it makes them forget and for that moment. But again, the issue still hasn't gone anywhere. The problem is still there. But it helps you deal with it by just trying to forget about it. But guess what? When you
sober up,
you have to do what again?
You gotta remember. You gotta see the problem.
You gotta see the problem, and then you go do what again?
Go drink.
There you go. Drugs, same thing. Whatever drug you taking, weed, whatever it is, you. Even though you might, but then when you face that issue again, you're like, let me go and but it's still there, and that's how society is, and it pushes that. Pharmaceuticals, it's all about take this, eat this, drink this. You got to take these pills. And the side effects is, your head might fall off. But I'm saying, that's why now mental illness start coming in too, because you're putting all these different chemicals into your body. The doctor's just giving you this, and you really don't know how it's going to affect you as a human being, because we all are different. So certain pills might affect you different than they may affect somebody else, because we are chemicals. We got a lot of chemicals in our mind, synapses and things going on. So when you take those pills, you don't know how it might adversely affect you down the road as you put more and more of this into your system. So you do start having mental illness and then things like that. And then, but with societies, when they don't really care about them, just put it out there, when they don't care about, first thing they start cutting financially is what? Social services. shutting down facilities and I'm just being real, patting their own pockets and shutting down facilities and this and that. And then where do they got to go? Now you start getting tent cities on the side of the road. With homeless people there and mentally where they really should be in a facility getting some little help. But no, he's like, we shutting this down and now you're on the side of the road living, shaking a cup, trying to get somebody to give you some change. And that's where it's at. I think when I look at it, it's tough because it's going on a lot out there. And part of it is America. How America, everything is Hollywood. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
TV. And if somebody want me to ask the truth, it's for entertainment purposes only. I don't care what anyone watch out there. You look at and say it's for entertainment purposes only. It's to distract you. You out there just football, this and that, but it's still from what you're doing. So when I say with anybody, how would I say it? How you fix that? At the end of the day, most people have to start looking at themselves and looking within themselves. And knowing who they are and building themselves up. So when you come against certain things, financially or whatever it is, you know that, I don't have to turn to these things. I just got to look within myself and start pushing forward and dig a little harder and say, hey, how do I get, like I said, stop focusing on the problem, start focusing on solutions. So that means, I know it's tough, sometimes you got to get a second job or you work with your family support. Remember I told you about getting to your family, trying to support each other and say, hey, you know what? I need a little help here right now. I don't, like I tell them, don't go look at them, find support, find ways, and there's things out there. You just got to go out there and search for them to say, hey, I need help with my bills. I need help. Go out there. I mean, I tell anybody that's better than the bottle.
Yes.
Going to a bottle of drugs, You say, how do we fix that? It's not an easy fix because it's systemic in America right now. Drugs is for everything. I'm not just talking about right now. Weed is legal. You see, it's interesting. Yeah. 1 minute it was now it's legal. And they know. Somebody said, well, why would they all of a sudden? What if economy's gonna get bad? You need something to calm everybody. Relax everybody so everybody don't be going crazy out here when they losing their jobs and this and that. But if at the end of the first start is invest, like I said before, investing in our children. That means education, putting jobs back out there so people can get work and find work. Putting certain things back in school that they took out of school, vocational skills and things like that. Remember when I went to school, you can become a mechanic, you can work on cars and build.
Plumber.
And all that stuff. You ain't got that stuff in school no more. So you didn't have to really go to college because you was learning these skills. Now you ain't got those in high school no more. So when these kids come out, if they graduate or don't graduate, they really ain't got no skills to survive. That's why I say I work life skills. What life skills do you have? You don't have. So now he has to be on the street. Now he has to rob, steal, and you see, and do drugs just to cope with how life is and not knowing where he's going to go and what he's going to do to, So you go to the. So I would say we invest in that first. And then find a way to make in jobs, really real jobs. Not they talk. No. Jobs so people can work, whatever it is, they send so many jobs off over. No, let's make little thinky things here. Let's make so people can work, and that'll help people because now they feel more comfortable. I can support myself.
Right.
Yeah, I'm making money. I can rent a place or buy a house, and it makes you feel better about yourself. So you don't so much turn to this as a coping mechanism. This is tea, but you know what I'm saying. Liquor as a coping mechanism. It's more of this cup. Now it's more of a social thing. It ain't so much you drinking because you're trying to forget about it. I'm drinking to have fun now. Because I'm working and I got a good life and I'm enjoying life.
It's social.
There you go.
Yeah.
You see how that's different? When you're enjoying life, now you drink for social. When you're not so happy in your life, now you drink and try to forget. So the two different things, and that's America for you. And again, if you invest in our children, you put jobs out there for people to work, and start again, and if people, I like social media has its purpose, but sometimes I feel that some people try too hard to be like, when they know that's not the truth. You see what I'm saying? And it affects you. Because one minute you can be all happy here, but then when you're not on, people not seeing you, you're sad and wondering why your life ain't like this. Or you're looking at somebody else thinking, man, they got it good. They may not. The grass ain't always green on the other side. It may look that way. But somebody just might have a spray paint. Somebody just make that spray paint. There you go.
Neon green
right,
grass.
there you go. I'm just talking, but hey, you never know. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Cause I've noticed the same things.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure almost everybody's noticed the same things.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it seems like the awareness is high. Like the awareness for mental health, the awareness for, certain diseases and certain mindsets and behaviors is high. But for some reason it just doesn't seem to be stopping. And I don't know, I guess I don't really truly understand that.
Well, you got to have somebody who really want to focus more on the solution than the problem. We focus more on the problem. We just talk about the problem. Like, oh, people doing this, people doing that. And really not focus on solutions. Because when you do that, when you focus on solutions, things have to get done. And when there's certain people in power want to pad their pockets instead of putting the money out to do this, you get what I'm saying? Then you're right, it don't nothing change. It's the same, because they'll talk about the problem all day. Oh, this, and people get shot up and Gary this, or they're this. But at the end of the day, you see really that's people who really at the top, they just trying to hold off to one day like, okay, we trying to gentrification. We don't really want to, we want all these people to move out so we can eventually mow this house down and build condos. You see how that works? Because all they think about making money. So they're not really trying to, they'll talk about the problem. Oh yeah, Gary this, or wherever you're, and then, I'm just putting, but yeah, they'll let stuff die down and people move out and schools. And then next thing you know, you turn around, they're building condos in Gary now, and trying to gentrify. And that, I remember that area when it was worn down, and now they, everybody moving back but certain people who can afford, they move back. So sometimes I'll say when people up at the top, when they really want to just have people, problem, but they really don't want to focus on solution, because then you have to do something. Now you got to do something. Remember when I said we said just do? When you focus more on solution, now you really got to do something. And sometimes I feel in our society, there's a lot of people up there who got the power, they don't really want to do something.
So how do we hold them accountable? How do we make them do something?
Again, most things you say as, like anybody would say, one, they say go vote. But I would say get out there and get active. See, in my lifetime, where I've seen change come when people got out there and got active. Marching, really going out there. I mean, I know they say vote, but for some reason it seems like even though we vote, things don't change. But when you get out there and get active, and people seeing people march, and you out there, and now that people start taking notes, like,
it's time to get serious.
Yeah, and that's when I've always seen things change. So I'm going back to the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm. That's when I've seen change happen, because they was out there. If you look, anytime you go back and you look at that, they were out there.
Yeah.
Look now, how many times do you see people out there?
I've seen, so with the Black Lives Matter movement, there was a lot of activism and things of that nature going on. The Occupy Wall Street. Nowadays, I don't know. Nowadays, a lot of it seems very flash pan. Really? A lot of it seems like one day we're angry about it. Everybody wants to talk about it. You see it all over social media. You see it all over the news. And then all of a sudden, within about a month or something like that, gone.
I can change the narrative.
Speak on that. What do you mean by that?
Okay, you said Black Lives Matter, right? So you're out there, Black Lives Matter. Then I come say, how you shut that down? Bring something else that matters. First start saying all lives matter. Next say blue lives matter. And then the last thing, to bring in and really change everybody, get people away from that and talk about something else, the Me Too movement. You see how all of a sudden Black Lives Matter get pushed over there? And now we got people talking about this and Me Too movement. Black Lives, so the news is not talking about it anymore. And people are like, we're not making the news no more. Why? Because they're showing Me Too movement now.
Yeah.
And now we talk. So now I changed the narrative, and nobody talks about that no more. Nobody brings that up, and people forget about it. Because, like you said, do you hear about it that much now?
No. That's what I'm saying. Almost not at all.
No. And then after a while, once we done did that, then you don't hear about this no more, because it served its purpose. Blue Lives Matter served its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
All Lives Matter served its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Me Too movement served its purpose when it's good for certain things. Now, because somebody said, how do you know that it's served? I'm not trying to bring up, we got all these social things going. The Weinstein going through his thing right now, right?
Right, with the Me Too movement, yeah.
But think about, from his rape, allegedly, I can't, we don't want to get in trouble, but
right.
what he's going through trial now. But do you really see a lot of the Me Too movement out there? No.
Mm.
You don't hear it out there much like you used to way back then.
Right.
Because it served its purpose. Its purpose was to make sure that died down, that Black Lives Matters.
Mm.
See, that's what I'm talking about, change the narrative.
Mm.
And anytime I want to make something go away, or I just bring other things to compete with it.
To divide the attention of
There
people.
you go. And people, and the people who really don't want to focus on this, they run over here. Now, when the media really don't want to talk about that, they go, The certain people don't, They say, oh, what about now it's the Me Too movement, Me Too, or is it Blue Lives Matter, it's the All Lives Matter, it's All Lives. And then it gets pushed, Black Lives Matter get pushed to the side. And nobody talks about it no more. I mean, the people within, and then it slowly dies down, and people are like, oh, well, they're not even showing us on the news no more.
So thinking about movements and education, because we talked about some deep stuff, but thinking about education now, going back into education, how do you think education helps with being able to see through this smokescreen that is being created?
Well, there's education and there's I would call self-education. What I mean by we're going to learn reading, writing, and all that in school. You're going to learn, well, I guess what they consider Black history for this month. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the Black history they're telling you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because, again, but then there's a whole big Black history. There's Africa, pyramids, and dynasties, and different people. And because it's funny how you always learn about somebody who created, or a Black man made this. Well, we didn't hear about that. We heard about Harriet Tubman. We didn't hear about these inventors. We didn't. We heard about George Washington Carver who created it, but we don't hear about these people. Yeah, we don't hear about. You see, then you're like, oh man, somebody did this. Somebody created this. The telephone and there's a cell phone. It was a black. Yeah. Wait a minute. Yes, it's a whole. So that's what a self-education. That means with a parents or anybody who interested. Oh yeah, give them books and no, come here. Let's go to the library. They didn't tell you about this guy.
That's supplemental education.
Yeah, there you go. They didn't tell you about this person. Know thyself. They didn't tell you about. See, there's a whole, and that's how you fight it because now you can't get duped. You can't get bamboozled because you know more. They can, because ignorant is when you ignorant. Yeah, they can get you, but when you know, they can't get you. They can't come with some story and say Chris Columbus discovered something. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, but they told you that, right? I'm not trying to be real. Did they say that? Yeah. Then you come later on, you get older, you realize, no, he didn't discover nothing. That's like me seeing your car parked there and jumping your car. Like, hey, I discovered your car. See, it's mine now. I'm just saying, really.
Yeah.
Now it's changing, you see, because more people are getting educated, and now they can't keep running that scam on you. I'm not being. They can't. They got like, yeah, we can't keep saying he because people are getting educated now. You see what I mean by self-education compared to what they, because they did say it, didn't they? Chris Columbus. Yeah. But there was Native Americans already here. So what do you?
How do you discover something that was already?
Yeah, I discovered your house because you weren't there, and I walked in and was like, oh, I discovered this is my house now. Okay, try that. See how it worked out for you. For someone. Hey, Chris Columbus did it. No, it doesn't.
In the front, out the back.
Yeah, there you go. It doesn't really work that way. And that's how. Again, that's why self-education is important too. Because it's if somebody comes to you're talking about wealth of knowledge. Library. Yeah.
You wouldn't suggest the internet?
The internet can be changed. There's a knowledge there, but it can be altered. It can be, and you can't believe everything. I'm sorry, if you don't say you can't believe everything because things about when you go to the library when there's a book, an old book, and when people was telling you the truth, and you're looking up certain things and you're reading certain. That's why writing. And I think but old school reading books is no substitute for it. Because we see now, internet, anybody can change things, give you a snippet of something, and try to take a little bit of something, and you be on there. Then when you hear the whole context, you're like, oh, wait a minute.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. Right. You see what I'm saying? That ain't what he really said. You took it out of context. You just took this small piece and put it on social media and made everybody go, oh. And then when somebody show you the whole, you're like, oh. Because people so quick to react and don't do their research and realize, like, okay, they see the smidge, but let me go find the real thing and see what really happened. Like, oh, no, that's not right. And that's social media for you. It's so quick and want people to react and this and that when that ain't the truth. But again, a lot of that information is false. So I'll tell you, as far as just getting knowledge, go to the library, read a book. They've been writing books since before social media came about, and so you can go if you want to know about anything. Think about it. You go to a library, doctor, lawyer, that is there. My book is there, so if you want to, my book is in the library. So again, if you're wealth of knowledge, library.
So thinking about the book, can you give people a little more insight on the business side of designing a book?
You work again, once you come up with a concept, there's artists out there. There's artists who I work with, Angela, awesome artists. And depends again, which you got to have editors. Someone to edit the book. Even though you may write it, you want people to proofread it. So you look into having an editor. So after you write it, somebody who can really go over it and once you got that done, it depends on your book. If it's a picture, you make sure you have a person who can do the artwork. If it's just words, you got to have an editor. Two, now if you're talking about publishing, there's different ways you go through a publisher, or you can self-publish.
Okay.
It depends where you at. I went through the self-publishing way, which was more, I think, economic for me and the smarter way to get myself out there, on which I liked that process. It was really, to me, it was easy. And the good, while I was with I knew someone who's a good friend of mine who's an artist, so that was nice. Yeah. I knew a good friend who's a professor of writing, so I kind of had an editor, and she read it, she's like, oh, you good. She always said, I don't really got to make no change that you're doing, and helping my wife a little bit, looking, proofreading a little bit, make sure, your spelling's correct. Yeah. So that process was really nice. And then again, with the artist, he had wrote a book a little while ago, so he already knew a certain process, so that was good. As a good resource of saying, if you want to do it this way, this is how, as far as self-publishing, go through Kindle Publishing, through Amazon, and they do all this. You just, as long as you upload your thing, and everything is set right, and they look at it and approve, it could be print on demand instead of you, like back in the day, you had to print a whole bunch of books, and you have stacks of books in your basement trying to sell, where now, like with them through Amazon, it's publish on demand, which is nice. So that means I ain't got to have 1,000 books in my bed. I can have 20, but when people order through Amazon, they just print up, boom, boom, boom. So if somebody company orders 10 books, or so decide, we like your books, we're going to order 20. They put boom and ship it to them. And it's right there. So I kind of say, for me, at that time, self-publishing was really nice. As a beginner, I think that was nice for me to do. As I'm working on my other 2 books, I might go to other, but since I put stuff out there and I can go and sit with a publisher, say, hey, this is what I've done. This is, now I got this work. Hey, can I work with you? Because they got more of a distribution, thing going on. So but I got something tangible to take. Like, hey, look, I did this, and look what it's done. I've done this too now. Yeah. What can we do?
So did you have to get your book copyrighted?
Yes. Yes, you have to. Because
how did you go through that process?
You just go through, look up copyrighting book. You got to submit it. You do have to pay. Okay. Because they want to make sure you do pay. Because they got to go through and make sure ain't nothing out there that it's not plagiarized or something like that. Like you're not taking somebody. Yeah. But once they do that process and they send it back, say, yep, you're copyright and you're good to go. So nobody gonna come to you talking about ain't nobody gonna try to sue you saying that I wrote this is from my and if somebody go and try to do with you can sue them for plagiarizing your work. Right. So but that is something you always have to do. I'm glad you mentioned that's something you have to do first. Once you do right and get the best, first thing you can do is get it copyrighted.
So final draft. The final draft has to be copyrighted.
Yes, you have to get it copyrighted.
Okay.
Yeah. So nobody comes in, and then you go through the Kindle publishing and all that. You don't want to, distribution and all that because you don't want nobody come and steal your work.
All right. And I heard you were actually in libraries as well. So.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Madison Library, South Highland Library, which is a good feeling, and that's a big accomplishment because it goes through a process through that too. They don't just put you. They gotta go through it, making sure it's this and it's this and the VIN number and all that. But once they say, oh, you know what, you're all good, it's in there. They either go purchase copies and put it in there, which is awesome. They'll go probably purchase a couple of copies, put in the library, and as it grows, as more people order from the library, might purchase more to put in a different library. But enter the library, like if you went to a library that didn't have it in some area, they'll call around and get it from another, and they'll ship it to them. Oh yeah, that's what usually happens. If someone in Calumet City and say, oh, the Calumet City Library doesn't have it, but they know that, oh, the South Highland Library has it, they'll ship it to them. But then after a while, Calumet City, like, you know what, we're going to get a couple copies of our own.
Yeah.
So just in case somebody comes, since people coming in, want to read the book, and that's how that works.
So do you donate it or do you sell the copy? Or?
Oh no, you can donate the copy to the library if just the first one I did because it was just like, so they can look at it because it's easy going and but you have it in your hand like, here's my book. You know what? Here, look at it and see if you guys can put it up. And they got it. Okay, yeah, we'll get back to you, and you go through this process. It might be a week or 2 weeks, and then they get back to you. You know what? Yeah, we're going to put it on that shelf. We go through a little process so we get the VIN number and all that, but we'll put it on that shelf. Cool. Yeah. And then places like Madison, they're like, oh yeah, you tell them they're like, oh, they got it. You know what? Yeah, we'll buy one, and they'll probably buy it. But especially since they know South Holland has it now, they're like, oh, their process, we'll probably buy one and see and go through the same process, but they figure if they did it,
then it should be pretty okay. Yeah, so that process is faster.
Yeah, so they do that. And that's how it works. So I'm very happy when, I go into a library and like, oh, they got my book. It's awesome. It's a good feeling,
So do you have any other projects?
Yeah, I'm working on two adult books now.
Adult books as in like adult-oriented books or adult books as in...
One is...
like Zane books?
Yeah, one is.
Oh, okay.
It's called Hush.
Okay.
It's a trilogy. I mean, not a trilogy, but it's a thriller. Then my third book that I'm working on is more of a detective story. Detective Magnus, futuristic detective story.
Nice.
So yeah, and how I'm looking at it, Hush, hopefully I can have that out by September of this year.
Okay.
And doing the same thing next year, September next year, Sunfall, that's the title of it, Sunfall will hopefully be out in September of next year.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'm how can I say it? I'm pushing myself, my creative, like some people, oh, you did children's book. I'm not just doing children's book. I'm a writer now, so I'm going to just keep on, pushing the envelope and putting out there something for everyone a little bit more, like as far as adults,
Yeah.
And, and see what happens. So I'm hoping, Hush and Sunfall, is, people just like this, they love this, they'll love those too.
Anything else in the martial arts world?
No, the only thing really right now is hanging out with you guys and sparring with you guys and D and like right now I know D is really training some guys to fight in the same tournament I fought in.
Yeah.
And working with guys and hopefully I can help out, like he helped me out.
Yeah.
I can, be of service and, help out with that. And when those guys, get ready to go down there, train with them, show them some little tidbits that I've learned. And that's what I'm hoping to do. So when he needs my service, like, hey, he's gonna be like, hey, Bo, now he ain't gonna call me Fletcher, hey, Bo, I need you to come and, spar with us, or we need some guys, so then I'll be like, okay, here I come. To give back. Same thing, like when some people give you, and that's my way of giving back, especially the D, again, awesome guy. And if he needs, I'm gonna be ready to jump, big time.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, man, this was awesome, man. You had me talking.
Yeah, this was my interview with Bo, 3-time Muay Thai champion, writer of Nevertheless, soon to be, writer actually still of Hush and Sunflower, soon to be out. Yeah, guys, tune in to our level with Saturday Sound Levels. I'm Jabez, and we out.
Peace.